Welcome back. In this video, we're going to be talking about the poem Because I Could Not Stop for Death. In this poem, Emily Dickinson, the poetess, deals with the theme of death, immortality, eternity, where a carriage ride metaphorically depicts life as a journey. In the poem Because I Could Not Stop for Death, the speaker is already dead centuries ago. But in the poem, she tells us how she faced her death. The poem deals with the Christian idea of life after death, about having eternal life and getting immortality after the physical death. People also say that just moments before you die, your whole life flashes before your eyes, in your thoughts and in your mind. This is a general belief. Christians also believe that after death in the spiritual realm, even 1,000 years seems like a single day and moment. People around the world also metaphorically compare life to a journey, and that we go to our true home after death. And in this journey of life, of course, we go through different phases of life, as in childhood, maturity, old age, and finally death. It is also believed that life is warmth and death is cold. You know, when a human body is alive, he or she is warm, and when somebody dies, they become cold. Setting of the sun is also a metaphorical comparison or symbolism of the end of life's journey. All these imageries, symbolism, ideas, and beliefs are compiled together by Emily Dickinson to compose her poem Because I Could Not Stop for Death. I think it is so normal for any person to be so busy living life and in the process to forget the fact that we are mortals and then we are bound to inevitably die at a certain point of our life. In this poem, the speaker is already dead, not recently, but hundreds of years ago, centuries ago. And she talks about how she too was not ready to die. And in fact, she was so busy living, enjoying the leisures of life and doing the labor of life, that she completely forgot that she should stop for death. So death, in his own time, came to see her, came to take her. Death is personified in this poem as a kindly gentleman who came with a carriage to take away the speaker. The carriage carried immortality, death, and the speaker. She left all her burdens, labor, and leisure, happiness of life, and drove away with death. As she was journeying through the carriage with death and immortality, she saw children playing during school recess. Then she saw the grains in the fields ready to be harvested. The crops in the field were ripe. And then she saw the setting sun, and she is somewhat confused whether the setting sun just crossed them by or did they just cross the setting sun. Now through this we realize that the carriage ride is the journey of the poetess life, and as she was journeying through, she sees the children playing during school recess. That is her childhood. Then she sees the crops in the field ready to be harvested, maturity of a person growing up, being an adult. And at last she witnesses the setting sun, which is the evening of life, which is the old age in a human life. And after passing the setting sun, she felt a chill, a cold wind. The night came with the dewdrops falling and filling the air with chill. And she felt cold because she had only a gossamer gown, that means a thin gown. And the sleeves of her gown were made of tulle, that means thin net-like material. Then the carriage stopped. And it stopped near a house. It seemed to be a house, but it was actually swelling on the ground. It was a grave. It was the house of the dead. With the cornice in the ground, that means the top of the roof was on the ground, because the dead was buried under the ground. So for the dead, the roof was on the ground. Cornice is the roof of a house. And the speaker goes on to say that she had been sleeping in this house in this grave for hundreds of years. For centuries she had been sleeping there. It has been hundreds of years, it had been centuries, but it still feels like not even a day had passed. And then she recalls that at first when she saw the heads of the horses of the carriage which carried death and immortality, the heads of the horses were turned towards eternity, which also echoes Emily Dickinson's belief that after death a person journeys into eternity. The text of the poem goes, "Because I could not stop for death, he kindly stopped for me. The carriage held but ourselves and immortality. We slowly drove, he knew no haste, and I had put away my labor and my leisure too for his civility. We passed the school when children strove at recess in the ring. We passed the fields of gazing grain, we passed the setting sun. Or rather, he passed us. The dews drew quivering and chill. For only gossamer my gown, my tippet only tulle. We passed before a house that seemed a swelling of the ground. The roof was scarcely visible, the cornice in the ground. Since then, these centuries, and yet feels shorter than the day. I first surmised the horses' heads were toward eternity." And that was a short explanation of Emily Dickinson's "Because I Could Not Stop for Death." I'll see you in the next video. Thank you.